Hello everyone. Welcome to another edition of XGR, the X-Pound Gaming Radio. I am your host, Chris aka The Mole. Joining me as usual is the DJ of games you've never heard of, the stay-at-home dad gamer.
What up?
Woo!
And of course, MC Pew Pew herself, Anastasia Laserbeam.
Hey, how's it going?
See, I could be all radio. So yeah, anyway, as usual, we're going to go news, games we've played this week, and a discussion. This week's discussion is disappointing licensed games. What we mean by that is licensed games that have disappointed us through another means besides their shit. Like, they've used the license wrong or something like that. But, so, who wants to take us away with the news first?
I'll go first.
Oh, you can go. That's cool too.
Oh, okay. Okay, my first one, the little one, is that Persona Q, the 3DS dungeon diving game starring Persona, I believe it's 3 and 4 characters, now has a release date of November 25th, 2014. Yay! And they also, on YouTube, I believe it's on their channel, posted the opening movie for the game, so if anyone cares to check that out, you can go see that.
That's pretty cool.
Alright.
And it does seem
I'll
cool
go
that I think that's a Japanese game, but it does seem cool that in general, recently we seem to get more and more Japanese stuff released in the West, which that's great for fans of that stuff. So yay.
Cool.
Over to MC
Alright.
Pew Pew.
MC Pew.
So, in South Korea, the not crazy Korea, you could apparently use video game addiction as a discharge for not having to join the military, which is normally mandatory for like 3 years.
So you can literally say I don't want to join the army because I'm busy playing Call of Duty, in which I've joined the army.
Supposedly, video game addiction is a really big thing in South Korea, and they're trying to put up a curfew, like a little curfew, for like 16-year-olds, so that if someone catches you like playing video games and you're under 16, like after a certain time period, you can get a fine. They're trying to make that a thing. Because apparently there's like a big problem with like children between 16 to 18 and playing games too much and video game addiction. So now it's a legitimate, I don't have to frickin' go to the military because I have gaming addiction. Yeah, how about that?
You're never going to join the Korean army.
I'm not going to go in the Korean army, I have video game addiction.
Which they don't care if you've got video game addiction in the American army, because they need as many people as they can get so they can invade as many countries as they want as a hostile force pretending to be a police action. Boom!
Yeah, I agree
Political
with that.
commentary. Thank you. Thank you.
So what is your news?
Yeah, no one likes it when I do political commentary. Okay.
Wrong show.
Small news. Pre-order bonus for Batman Arkham Knight may have actually surfaced prematurely, the same way Jim ejaculates, thanks to a leaked promotional ad from GameStop.
Also the same way that Jim ejaculates.
The Batman News originally got hold of some image which they posted, offering anyone who pre-orders the final chapter in Rocksteady's saga at the store a DLC pack where you can play as Harley Quinn, which we already knew, but now they've added another in which you can play the role of the Red Hood.
Nice.
Oh, snap.
Well, we already knew a playable version of Joker's psychotic girlfriend was on its way in Arkham Knight. This is the first time we've ever heard that the Red Hood will also join the party, though by the looks of things, it's only if you pre-order at GameStop. So yeah, I mean, it could be fake, but it looks genuine enough. But yeah, Red Hood is going to be in the game. Woo! Over to Rick for big news. Take us away, Daddy. Dad. Daddy cool. Daddy cool.
All right, so a game that was about
I
2
like
days.
how there's a long pause,
Yeah.
like we was expecting me to finish it.
Yes, just making sure. Trying not to Jim cut you off. So, um, but on Kickstarter they had a game called. It's like either a real or aerial is how I assume it's supposed to be. But it was supposedly made by or is going to be made by the people that made Stalker several years ago in the Ukraine. But there's a lot of like really fishy stuff with it. Like it just didn't seem to add up. And eventually, Kickstarter suspended the campaign when it had like 2 days left. It had already actually met its goal, but there's like all this crazy stuff about it. Like they're saying that Vladimir Putin like sent them a letter or something congratulating him on the game, and then they're blaming like Russia for some what do you call it, like an intellectual war zone or something about like trying to shut their game down. It's like there's just crazy stuff going on with this. I don't even know, but there's definitely something unfolding. And it's,
Our glorious leader, Vladimir Putin.
I know, yeah, they probably sent Rusev there
Yay, Kozlov.
and messed them up. But yeah, there's a whole big story on it. I'm really just cutting out most of it. It's just all over the place with nothing seems to add up, and then there's all this other weird stuff coming in. So it's that's almost a better story than probably what the game would have, is the story surrounding the Kickstarter of it.
I may be getting my wires crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same one that was made by those YouTube reviewers in which all the money's disappeared and making a massive case against it because people are like, oh, we're not getting any of the stuff we've donated money to?
No, this one hasn't even finished.
I wasn't sure because I know that
Yeah.
one sounded dodgy with finger pointing both ways. It's great. The Kickstarter has gone from being launching great stuff to potato salad is worth over $1 million to let's rip everyone off.
Yeah. Well, the potato salad was kind of.
To be fair, the potato salad, he asked for 10, and people were like, yeah, then he started to throw people parties and shit. And that, to me, seemed more like he was parodying what Kickstarter was. And if people gave money to a potato salad, they're not allowed nice things.
Yep, exactly.
I want to see the XGR cut episode in which Richter's wife came in and he informed her he's got his house like a first and second and third mortgage just to fund the potato salad.
I thought you were going a whole different direction with that. I thought you were going to go with the Richter's wife's now on Kickstarter for suspicious services or something like.
No, Richter's wife would not appear on Kickstarter.
Wow.
But yeah, like I said, that did sound weird. And I love the fact, like you said, they added Vladimir Putin in the letter.
Yeah, it's
like,
he sent us the letter, and the signature looks legit, and it's like, why would he send you a letter?
Looks legit.
Yeah.
But pew pew. Your big news.
My big news is that if you're at Comic-Con, then you could get a demo of Super Smash Brothers 3DS. That'd be pretty freaking awesome. I wish I could be there. But yeah, so you just have to like pretty much tweet your location and card or whatever, and if they direct message you back, and you get a copy of the game or of the demo anyway.
Nice. Demos are always good.
Yeah.
Ironically, piggybacking off your news, the first Super Smash Flash was originally submitted to Newgrounds almost 8 years ago in 2006, because I kind of like this news. You can play its sequel right now, but it's still in development. In fact, it's getting a huge update very soon. The game is, and currently still in development, a stripped-down version of Smash Bros. Brawl with different stages and characters in its basic Smash Bros. Experience, but there's a few key differences. It's free, it's on PC, it uses pixel art, and the production quality varies a bit in places. This can mostly be felt in the music, but right. Still, it's pretty damn entertaining game, and it plays as well as the console, as well as its console brothers. I disagree with that. And the upcoming update, it's getting even better. The reason I say I disagree, I actually downloaded the demo, and I feel so I can have some hand in Smash. For me, Sonic the Hedgehog. For Richter, we have Mega Man. For Pew Pew, we have Link. And then they
There you
add
go.
extra people like Bomberman, who should be in Smash Brothers. They've added Goku, because why the fuck not? Ichigo, Naruto, and who was the other one? Oh, they've added Lloyd from, I think, Final Fantasy, and they added Sora from Kingdom Hearts. It doesn't play as well as Smash Brothers. I don't know why the news here claimed it did, but it's kind of fun. You can mix the buttons around, and you can change what keys do what. Like I changed the directional walking from W, A, S, D just to up, down, left, right, because that always feels more natural on PC. Even if on a console it feels more natural to have the directional buttons on the left, because the arrows are right there with up, down, left, right, it's easier to make them walk for me.
Right.
And then I made the backslash, Z, X, C, and V my attack buttons. Well, attack and block, but yeah, that's pretty good. You can totally check it out for free, and I got the demo. I sent the demo to Pew Pew, and I'll also be linking Richter to the demo when we finish. So yay!
Yay.
Woo.
So now we're over to catch up. Catch up with games we've played this week. It's the X-Pound Gaming Radio. Take us away, Richter, the Hammer of God.
All right. First game this week I played, is Abyss Odyssey on the PS3, and it's
Hey, I never heard of that.
huh?
Yay! I said I never heard of that.
Oh,
Yay!
yay!
Heard
Yeah,
but not played.
it's okay. It's like a platforming action adventure kind of game. I guess I get there's some light RPG elements. You get skills and experience and whatnot, and you get a super attack that if you kill some monsters with it or at least damage them with it, you can equip their soul, which allows you to like transform into them.
Nice.
And it's a neat mechanic. The only problem is it takes a while to actually get it. Like it's like part of the game, but you don't get them very often, and you can only keep like one at a time, and you can't like keep them, if that makes sense. Like if you beat the game or die or whatever, and you didn't use them, you don't get to keep them. You don't get to start with one or anything. So it's got a little bit of the rogue qualities of the rogue type games. So like every time you start over, you just start over. You keep your level and your money, but you don't keep any equipment or anything.
Is that
Kind
like
of fun, yeah.
Castlevania?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It plays kind of like a mix between that and Smash Brothers. Just the way you like do moves, because there's like a special move button, and the directions do different ones.
So I'm going to take the piss and say, you mean Sub-Base Embassy? No, I'm kidding. That was nothing like Castlevania.
But yeah, it's kind of fun. The only problem is the combat's like really stiff. So like the way you move, like it doesn't feel like it flows very well. And the game touts itself as basically a hybrid, part fighting game, part hack and slash. And yeah, it does have some fighting game mechanics, but they're not really deep. You don't really have like actual combos, and the special moves are kind of like Smash Brothers style, and your combo doesn't hit very many times. So I wouldn't really actually categorize it that close to a fighting game, although the enemy AI is very much like a fighting game. So like because the floors are split up into easy, moderate, and hard, and you can't really there's like a set pattern to when they are like that. It doesn't like increase. It'll be like easy, then moderate, hard, then like easy, then hard, hard. Like it has this weird spread. It's not like like it doesn't get harder as it goes along.
Since we talk about fighting games and stuff, just wait till you go from hard to Shao Kahn difficulty.
Yeah. Well, that's like how the fights are. I mean, one of the first specials you get is a fireball, which you just throw out. But on pretty much on moderate and hard, they will auto dodge it. So it's like almost useless until I figured out how to exploit them with it. But it's like you shoot it and they just will dodge roll through it, like no matter what. And it's like, oh, that's cool. And they like to do the Smash Brothers on like the hard setting where like they'll roll behind you and then you turn to hit them and they'll roll behind you again. And it's like, well, if you don't turn to hit them, they'll hit you. But if you turn to hit them, they'll dodge. So it's like, oh, that's fun. But eventually I figured out that when I get about the distance they roll, I throw the fireball, and then they roll toward me, and then I do one of my other special moves. It like spins around and hits them, and they just get up and do it. They like can't block it, and I'm like, oh, okay, so yeah. Even though they have fighting game cheapness, they're also AI, so you can exploit their stupidity. So it's like, oh, that's good, I guess.
Nice.
But second game I played this week, I believe I'm not the only one, was the Destiny beta.
Yep.
And I thought it was okay. Couple UI things I really don't like. Game's kind of fun. I've yet to play it with other people. I assume that will be more fun. And it seems
next week.
Yeah. Well, it seems more balanced for that because like at first I had no problems, and then when you get to those stupid what are they, dark areas or whatever where you can't respawn. And so if you die at all, you have to start the whole thing over. And there was one that just had waves and waves of dudes, and I died, and I was like, okay. And then I had to do the whole thing over again. I'm like, that kind of sucks. It's not going to get easier a second time through, but okay. But yeah, but kind of fun. I
hate the commanders.
Huh?
I hate the commanders.
Yeah. The captain guys with their
with the shield, where you start to drain their shield and they'll teleport behind something you can't get to. So by the time you get round there, their shield regenerates. Like, fuck you! Luckily, I figured out a way of killing them, of almost killing me, of just spamming hand to the face, of talk to the hand, talk to the hand, talk to the hand, talk to the hand.
Yeah, it's like they're really smart. They made some of the enemies like too smart, where they will actually. Yeah, like when the shield's down, they're like, uh-oh, and then they teleport behind cover. And also, enemies get, like, dodge rolls and stuff, and I'm like, stop putting that in games. If they can do it, I want to be able to do a dodge roll. Like, I hate that.
I will also say this game seems to punish you if you explore.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had that too.
Yes.
But when Chris was here for the wrestling, I let him try it out, and he was like, you know what, I'm going to explore because collectibles and stuff. That's his logic, which was cool. I approve of that. He enters a cave, and there's these enemies there that look at him and run at him, and he starts to shoot them, and it says they're immune to weapons. And he even tried to we tried the psychic hand, and boom, did nothing, and they just instantly wiped through him. I'm like, why are they immune to every damage? Why did they place that thing in a cave at one of the starting levels? Why?
Yeah, I had I did it where you go down one of the missions. Well, it's like a free mission where you can go down to the area and you can pick up little side missions. And there's one that's like, explore this cave, and I'm like, okay. So I go over, and there's like a cave below it, and I look up and I see this ledge that I can't jump to, and that's where the marker is. I'm like, oh, okay, I have to get up there. So I back up and I look around, and I don't see another entrance. So I start driving all the way around the damn mountain to try to find, keep looking for an entrance. Like, I don't see where it is. And then I see these monsters, and I'm like, oh, there's more monsters. And then it has like level question mark. I'm like, oh shit! And then they just kill me in like one shot. I'm like, well, that was fun.
Yeah, I didn't like the optional missions. Story missions were kind of fun. It plays like Killzone, but the regular mission or the side mission where you have to go and, like you said, collect all the stuff. That got repetitive fast. If you go to this area, scan shit, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I better pick up the thing, go scan shit, and I'm like, cool. The best part of doing that mission for me before I just had enough was my favorite death I've had yet. And what I just walked around this edge of this cliff, and I start to walk on the edge of a cliff. I see a giant fucking Yeti on the edge of this cliff where clearly he can't get off the cliff. And I'm like, okay. I pull out my gun and just go, and shoot him once in the head. He turns with no damage, looks at me and goes, ah, hits me, and I go fucking flying off the cliff all the way down to my death. It was almost like cartoon of the Taco Kane of you hit him and he did like the head turn of like dramatic chipmunk and hit me. I'm like, he shouldn't be a thing on a mission that says level 4.
Yeah.
An enemy that powerful shouldn't exist. But the actual hub where you get to go around 3D is kind of fun.
I like that you get the little like speeder bike.
Oh, I like that. I just wish it fired.
Yeah, I wish it had attacks too. But I think it's kind of cool. You get a little personal vehicle you can summon, kind of like Defiance or
Dinosaur Warriors was my bad.
Dinosaur, yeah. And I thought that was pretty cool, and you get it nice and early. You know, it's not one of those things where you like see people doing it and you're like, man, I wish I was 20. Like I think it's what the 3rd or 4th mission in the game or something, which is awesome.
Yeah, it was the 4th, which was kind of cool, but. Like I said, I wish it had an attack. It's a great vehicle. It's just the enemies are on ones that look like ours, and the shooting goes. It's like, well, I can't attack them. If I go stay near them, I'm gonna die. If I try to lose them, they still keep shooting at me, and eventually I manage to lose them. But I never feel good about it. I'm like, come on, it's a game. I want to kill them. I want to run away.
Yeah.
This isn't France, the video game.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind running if like. What I need is past them, and they're just there, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna fight you right now. Just go past them.
We're very different people, you know.
Yeah.
Mine is I want to slaughter them all. Send a message. I want to rip off one of their heads, stick on a stick, put that on the front of my bike as a hood on them, and just to send a message.
There you go.
Woo!
Whereas Richter's more like, you a flower. No, I don't think Richter's ever.
No, it's
said
more
that.
like I've killed 80 of you guys. Why are you still sending more? I'm going over here. I'm done with you now.
Oh, so I do like payday on the bridge.
Yeah.
Why are you still sending them? How do you still have these?
I do like how enemies respawn though, and that like a ship comes and drops them off. So you get more warning, and I like that makes more sense than they just show up again, or like you know MMO style, they just kind of fade in, and you're like, what? I think it's kind of cool that they bothered to make it look more legit, and I'm like, oh, I like that. Even though the ship shoots you for some reason, I'm like looking away, and it's like shooting at me. I'm like, really? Aren't you dropping guys to kill me, and you're gonna take pot shots at me?
Yep. But the beta is pretty cool. I think a lot of people are playing it. The thing I have is because I haven't played it with friends yet. But I tune in next week. Because after this we're gonna try and see if we can connect me and Rick. Mm-hmm. But I go to play a mission and when I go to the mission, there's some people that are doing the same mission as me. Yeah. They do the same mission as me at the same time. It's like cool. When we get to the darkness part, and the second I enter, they're not there. I'm like, oh, fuck off. I didn't need them to take out one little weak enemy by the stairs. I need them to kill this yellow thing that emerges from the wall and tries to kill me. Yeah. I need them to shoot the fucking wizard.
I keep trying to, like, sometimes I'll see one dead, and I'm like, ooh, and I go over to, like, revive him, and then I don't even know. I think he revives himself or something. I'm like, oh. It's like, I was trying to be helpful, jerk.
And he just looking at you mad, bro.
Yeah.
Big meanie.
I did have something hilarious, and I think it was on my live stream.
Mm-hmm.
I live streamed the beta, and I was talking to, what the hell's her name? Stacey at the time.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I was talking to Stacey.
Yeah, you can't fucking remember my name.
I remember your name, sir. Yeah, it was a case of going through it was the live stream, and I was talking to her at the same time, and I realized, wait, my mic. Every time I talk, my microphone lights up on the screen. So yeah, I'm currently streaming right now, in case anyone wonders why I'm making random sounds. But hello to the guy in front of me, who appears to, and I described him. He turns, points at me, and then does a dance. And I'm like, cool, how the hell did you do that? And I start pressing the D-pad button to figure out when I get a dance. I'm like, that's awesome, I'm dancing. Part of me thought, why is this a thing? What the hell?
Yeah, I was trying to. I think I was trying to highlight something, and I accidentally hit the D. I was like, "Oh, I haven't tried the D-pad yet. That doesn't switch weapons. Let's see." And first, then I start dancing. I'm like, "Whoa, oh, okay, MMO, right? I gotta dance."
Cool thing about the beta, which hopefully makes it to the full game, FYI for all of you people out there in Radio Land on YouTube, if you play as the PS3 and the PS4 version, because I got a load of PS3 codes, gave them to a few friends and traded one for PS4 code, so I have the PS4 beta and the PS3 beta. I went to log on the PS3 beta a few moments ago before we started to record this, just to, do that starting mission so I could get to the point where I could play with you, Rick.
Right.
And I go to log on, and it's like, boom, there's my character from the PS4, because it's an MMO, it's on the same server.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay, fuck it, my work here is done, turning off. Because I don't want to replay through the start mission, because I just want to play with Rick.
Nice.
I just want to play as Rick and have him say, "Why are you dancing? Revive me! Why are you dancing on my corpse?" I'm kidding, I'm not going to dance on your corpse.
Thank you.
It'll be more corpse adjacent.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Although I did in my live stream when I killed the captain, and I said, I hate this captain so much, I'm going to do something that goes against my very fibre. I stood over him, and I crouched and got back up, crouched and got back up, crouched and got back up, right on his face.
It's the bungee way.
Yeah, I teabagged him.
They send you a message. It's like, we see you're teabagging. Thank you. Here's more glimmer.
But no, I like that.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of fun.
Which is your favourite class you've been? Mine's the Warlock. Warlock.
So far I'm liking the Titan.
Nice. What level is your Titan?
He's like 3 or whatever. I have a 7 Warlock, I think, and a 3 Hunter.
So it's up to you which way you want to go when we go to play this, because my character's a level 6.
Mm-hmm.
So either you could join me as level 7 and and then I could just do the star beam on equals, or I could join your level 3 and get him up a few levels. Either's fine.
Okay.
So choose the form of the destroyer. No, it's Jim in a morph suit. Damn it! Stupid sexy Jimses. Poor Jim on these podcasts.
I know.
It's cool. He's never going to listen to them.
That's true.
And just in case he starts to listen, Vita!
I just picture like gray smoke appears next to him. He just goes.
Yeah. I picture the battle droids on episode 1 and all of the sci-fis when they shut down, go power down and collapse. That's what I picture. Vita.
Yes.
But Pew Pew games week, go.
Yeah. Okay. So I played one game this week, Minecraft, with my friend at work, and it's been really fun. We kind of got into a routine now, pretty much. How he goes and pretty much kills things.
Game you played this week.
Oh yeah, and I also played
Hey, you also played Destruction Derby.
What? What?
You also played Destruction Derby.
What's that?
Yeah. It was a joke because you'd crashed your car, but Destruction Derby was a PS1 game in which you played as a car and you were in a Destruction Derby or Derby, as I believe you pronounce it over there, and you just go forward and try and crash into all the other vehicles until you're the last surviving car. It was awesome.
Okay. So, anyway.
Jokes about me crashing aside.
Yeah. So pretty much we've gotten to this routine of me and my friend Sam. He pretty much goes out and kills things and collects materials, and he kind of builds the structure of things, but he builds it really ugly ass and it's all fucked up. And then I make it really nice and actually not an eyesore, and I pretty much made this hotel and everything, and I made it all awesome, and he's just Like, he pretty much is just the killing material collector. He blew up a fucking mountain for, like, some reason. I swear. And now he has, like, an army of cats following him, so he's, like creeper-proof.
So what you're saying
Nice.
is like real life. The man is the hunter-gatherer, and the woman makes the house look nice and clean.
Well, now it's like that. I mean, I used to, like, go down to the mines and stuff, but, like, I just like creating stuff, you know? So that's cool, too. And if if it's already gonna be there, then I said, might as well. Because he's not creative. He makes ugly pieces of shit that no one wants to see. And, like, you can't have that, like, freaking stare me in the face. I fix it up. I make all his shit turn into, like, nicely looking pieces of art.
Fair enough. Anything else?
I also played Dynasty Warriors, the Empire. I played that like 7. Yeah. So that was really fun. I don't know how to like level up though or anything like that. I just keep doing things and like I don't understand the whole social politics of stuff.
I think you level up a bit. I think the leveling up's automatic, isn't it? Mixed
No, I
with
mean
how
like
well you do your political stuff.
yeah. I don't know how to do the political stuff, but I keep fighting things. So there's that. It's
If
fun.
you have a high enough level where you can do the political stuff, you just take resources, and I believe the bag wasn't cash, it was food. And you use that to fund like your armies to make them better, or use that to fund like better like resources from other people and yada yada yada. It's kind of fun when you get into the logistics of how it works. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's pretty fun.
It is.
Yay.
I like being able to like slash like everybody around me. Like especially since I figured like since I'm a blade dancer or whatever, that my move should be like just throw flower petals around and everybody dies, and that's really fun. I feel like that'd be Simon's special attack if he was like a Super Smash Ball character.
Yeah.
I feel Simon's super attack would be the gigantic pink dildo from Saints Row.
I
Yes.
thought it was purple.
What was that?
I thought it was purple.
I thought it was
The
pink.
Saints Row?
It's a pinky purple. It's
Okay,
one of the
the
two. It's
Saints Row,
still
Simon's a
the
specialist,
color.
whatever color he wants.
it's silver.
Yeah.
It's silver.
Like the cum stained silver thong he stuck down the mouth of a whore.
Yes.
Cards Against
I hope he
Humanity
listens to
reference,
this
by the way.
now.
And for people listening who didn't understand that running joke, it was a joke we'd made on one of the Cards Against Humanity stuff we'd done. But
Yeah.
that sounded pretty cool. So over to me, I believe.
Yep.
2 games this week. First, Lego Movie the video game. I'm not going to talk about the story because that would spoil it for Rick. And also, I am reviewing that with Marcus Saturday, I think.
Oh, he has
I'm
that
wrong.
game?
He has the movie.
Oh, okay.
So, and in the story, literally, the way they've done the story in the game is they took scenes from the movie, literally as they are in the film, and just inserted them as cutscenes.
Gotcha.
The game is great in some regards, but other regards, it's a huge step back. Like, for example, building, where you play as the construction worker types, and you build, and you have to pick, and you have to build from the instructions, is pretty awesome. The spaceman stuff where you get to go dunk dunk like a chess piece around a board and stuff is kind of cool. Or not chess. I was going to say drafts, but I believe in America you call it checkers. But that's kind of fun. However, the combat is a massive fucking step back from Lego Marvel or Lego Batman. Like, there's no combos, Rick. It's gone back to the old one button equals attack, which that's boring. I didn't like that as much. Also, you've played Lego Marvel, haven't you, Rick?
Yeah, a little bit.
You know when you complete the level, if you go back to go free roam, and I think you can click it, then you can just press left or right on the D-pad and go along, and it'll help you select where you want it to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that on this one. Instead, you have to go back into the hubs and track down the missions in order. if you
Oh
want to
wow.
replay it in order, which that just sucked balls. There's 70 gold bricks instead of over 100 like other games, and I don't know. I'd recommend it to people because it's still fun. It's just not as fun as Lego Marvel or Lego Batman.
Hmm.
But hopefully Lego Batman 3 comes out this year, so hopefully that'll be good. My favourite's still Lego Marvel, but Lego Batman 3 should improve upon that. So yay. Second game I played this week is just a quick rundown. It's called Showtime. There will be a written review of this on airpound.proboards.com. I don't know when, but it'll be within the next week. However, what the game is you're in charge of a movie studio. Mine is called Momentum Production here, but you get to do that, and you get to create films. And when you create films and stuff, it's all like text-based mixed with some pictures. But you get to make the film. You go through the process of writing the script and who's going to write the script, what elements you want in the script. Then you take that, you cast it. Then you go into production with what type of effect you want, whether you want it to be 3D or not. Then you get into marketing. Then you go to release it. And then you see how well it's done with critics and stuff like that. It's pretty damn fun. And once you've made a movie, you can go and make a sequel to it. And when you've made a sequel, you then have a franchise. And with the franchise, you can keep making franchise films, basically cash cows. Or eventually, if you want to, you can even sell your franchise and go and create another one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And they also have in there of buying the rights to stuff. Now, they're not official stuff, but you can go in there and it says you can buy the rights to, and it says like comic books, and there's like a list of what these comic books are, or video games, or TV shows, or movies, or books. You can buy the rights to these fictional video games, comics, and stuff, and you can make a film or a franchise out of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of fun as well. So yeah, it's pretty good. There's even awards like the Spazzies and stuff.
The Spazzies.
Yeah, which they it's kind of fun. There's achievements. It cost about £5 on Steam, so I reckon it'll be about between $5 and $10. If that, it's worth checking out if you like management type games. But if you like games like Game Dev Tycoon, I recommend this game. They're the two games I've played this week. Now to our discussion. Which our discussion is licensed video games that have disappointed you. Not just because they're bad, but because they've used the license in a different or weird way of which you don't agree with. I'll go first with one I mentioned to my two lovely co-hosts when I'd suggested the topic of wacky races on the Wii. Because literally, Wacky Racers, it lends itself to a Twisted Metal game, a Mario Kart game, a Mod Nation or Little Bit Planet karting game. What it does not lend itself to is a point-and-click racing game. That's what we got on the Wii. And I'm like, it's not because it's bad, it's because it just didn't feel like Wacky Racers. You essentially took Wacky Racers and used used some sort of way to make the game not how the game should be, if that makes sense.
I just point and click racing game sounds like a weird idea to me.
Yeah, after this, go on YouTube and check out Wacky Racers Wii. Even if it's just like a trailer or something, you'll see what I mean. It's weird. It's weird. It's just wrong on so many levels. But how about you guys?
Okay. One that disappointed. Well, I guess. Yeah. One that I thought disappointed me. This is going way back in the day. The Back to the Future on the NES. If anyone played
Oh my
that.
god.
I
Yes.
had that game. I don't know if I still have it, but that game sucked.
That game did suck.
We got a good Back to the Future game now, although that probably doesn't make up for it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's if anyone listening has not played that, don't play it. But yeah, the first level is like top down, and you have to. I don't even remember why you have to get to the end, but you have to like avoid all these hazards. Like there's people moving glass and like dogs and stuff running at you. And you could get a skateboard and move quickly. And you could throw bowling balls. It's pretty dumb. And
Like
then the second,
Paperboy, except on a skateboard.
yeah, just yeah. It
Yeah.
does kind of remind me of Paperboy, just slightly different view.
Which doesn't work, because to me, Back to the Future lends itself better to the point-and-click style adventure games like Telltale did with
Yeah.
Back to the Future, the game. That worked. That one does not.
Yeah. Well, and then the second level is completely different. It's like a rip-off of Root Beer Tapper or whatever. Like, the game just, like, takes other stuff. Like, whatever, just throw that together, it'll work. Like, no, it didn't.
Yeah. Any game like that for you, Pew?
I have a bunch. Okay, like I was gonna say this one for later, but because he talks about older games, not that much older. It's not way older like that, but it came out I don't know how many years ago. But like the last Harry Potter movie, they had I bought all the Harry Potter games for like I think it was the GameCube, and then I don't know one of the system after that. Anyway, it's probably the Wii. So I bought everyone pretty much as they came out the movies, and they were fairly decent considering movie-based games are usually shit. And the Harry Potter games were pretty fun. Like I invested a lot of hours in them, and they're usually pretty good, which is surprising for like a movie game. But this one, you probably already heard. I don't know if you've heard of it or heard the problems of it. It's pretty much called what do they call it? I don't know. They called maybe it's some kind of Call of Duty reference. I forget. There was some kind of pun involved. Basically, that's pretty much what it
Harry
is.
Potter, Magic Warfare?
They call it, no, it was Call of something. They named it Call of something else, I don't know. Anyway, there was a pun that went with it, but I don't remember. Basically, all you do, though, is you have, like, different spells, but the spells aren't really different. They just, it's like changing weapons. It says how fast you shoot or how far you shoot. It's not like these spells do different things, like, okay, instead of fighting enemies, I'm going to turn them into a cat. Or I'm going to, fight them with fire. It's like ice. It's just red explosion, blue explosion, green explosion, how fast you want them. Like, and that's like all you did. You go around shooting people. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. As much as I
That's
don't
not, like, that's not whimsical and fun at all.
It's like, as much as I don't like Harry Potter, one thing I would say Harry Potter lends itself to in terms of a game is, one, obviously the Wonder Book. That totally worked because it was a book, so why not? That worked. I kind of did like that. And also, if any of you've seen PlayStation Move game Sorcerer, because literally you're like a kid starting off learning these spells and stuff, and when you go to do them, different spells work differently, but it's not like that one. It's just explosions. Like some of them, you can curve it if you flick the move properly because it reads the space and stuff. So when you flick it, like you could flick like a magic spell, and it can go through fire. And if it hits the fire, it then makes a fireball with the magic to take out enemies. Some are weak to fire, some are weak to ice and stuff, and you can swap and do different types of attacks and shit. That's actually a well done move game, which I was disappointed they didn't do more of. But I think Harry Potter like that would be great. Which, from what I understand, the Wii games were similar, just not quite as advanced. Which totally works. But yeah, that one sounds bad. The one Pew mentioned.
Yeah, this one was a complete shit. Because it's just like pretty much hiding behind rubble and just shooting people with your not gun, your wand. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Because I used to fly around the fucking whole Hogwarts to collect jelly beans, and then go to the second stall of the bathroom and trade them for stuff, because Fred and George would be there, and they'd give you spells or extra unlockables or something, and you could explore the whole place. And here I am just freaking hiding behind this thing and killing people. What the fuck happened?
Yep, it's my next one would be, I don't know if anyone here remembers this. This will go on PS1. Oh, hang on, give me one sec. Okay, basically it was called Star Wars. What the fuck was it now? Masters of something.
Terrace Kasi.
Yes, that. It was like the worst shit I've ever played. They tried to take Star Wars, which is action/adventure, which it lends itself to action adventures, RPGs, real-time strategies. What it doesn't lend itself to is a fighter. And if it's a fighter, it needs to be something like where it's just blade combat. It doesn't need to be what that was. That's fucking no. What was that?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Did you play that much, Rick?
Not much, but I definitely played it, and it was definitely bad.
Ah, good. That was horrible.
Yeah, like
But-
it's like, oh, we'll make one like Soul Calibur. No.
Yeah, no. Which is ironic because Vader has actually appeared later on in Soul Calibur with Yoda. No. I'm the
Yeah.
apprentice. No.
No.
Fucking Soul Calibur and its guest characters. I hate the guest characters in Soul Calibur now. First time, cool. After that, no. But what would you go with next, Rick, if you got another one you could think of?
Okay, another one that or two, I guess, that were kind of disappointing in similar ways. But for Warhammer 40K, they had way back in I think it was a PlayStation 1 game. It was called Fire Team, I believe, and then they had that more recent one, Space Marine, which actually wasn't bad. But my problem that one thing that disappoints me about those, and not as much about the RTS one, which actually was pretty decent, but is that you play as the Space Marines. And whenever I think of, I want to, they have all these different races, and then you play as the stupid human. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like all the other races are more interesting in Warhammer 40K, and then they like to put you as the stupid people. Like,
Yeah, the best part of Games Workshop is all the different races, all the different figures, the different styles, painting them, customizing them, playing the board game. Playing is just the generic Space Marine, which, I'm sorry, every first-person shooter for the future, like Halo and stuff, are all Space Marines.
Yeah.
You've taken something that could have been the most unique the most unique shooter, because you couldn't just be a Space Marine, you could play as all the other ones, and instead they made you the most generic choice. I agree, that was bad. Although the actual gameplay of the last PS3 one, the one that was like Gears of War, wasn't too bad.
Yeah, no, that one was kind of fun.
It was just disappointing with the raid thing, like you said.
Yeah, I wish that they would have a style of either that or, especially since some of the races would benefit more from a more hack and slash engine, like, of course, the fabled Dynasty Warriors engine. But just have one like that and just have you can play as any of the sides, and just do battles, or even because they also in the latest one, they had like a horde mode, and it was really fun. But even there, you could have put in like different races if you didn't want to do like a story for them or whatever. They could have put them in there, and it's like, oh, why can't we get that part right? Except they had like a StarCraft like game that actually you could play as the other races, and that was cool. But the the more console friendly games, they're just stick you as a Space Marine.
Yeah. And real-time strategy is one I think Warhammer and stuff would lend themselves really to. Cause that is basically the video game equivalent of picking up a figure and moving it there.
Yes.
Over to Pew.
One of the other games I really didn't like was Spirit Tracks. Yeah.
The Sunshine Mario.
No, it's not. Because that was good. This is bad. And no one asked for, you know what he needs? He needs to travel by train. And only can travel by train and go through all the other places, just by a train. We have problems. Sometimes there's not tracks there. Let's rebuild the track.
Who the fuck asked if we could clean graffiti in Mario?
Everyone. And they need to. Everybody who doesn't like it needs to shut the fuck up. But
I will compromise and say Spirit Tracks was as good as Sunshine. There you go.
No, I hate you. Die by having your skin taken inside out. But that was so freaking stupid, and like, oh my god, it just like everything you're doing is because the fucking train doesn't work, and you have to go make the train work, and it's like, it's like, you know what? If we just actually got off the train and walked to our location, like we did before, we'd have no problems. How would we do that? It's like, like, and Zelda's like, what? I have to do things? I actually have to do stuff? And she's like, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm not going to do it. Even though the freaking train or whatever told me to, I'm not going to. I'm a bitch. And like,
I would also argue Legend of Zelda wouldn't count.
Yeah.
Only because it's not a licensed video game. If Nintendo owns the license and they made the game,
Still shit. Okay. It's
it may
abomination.
be. It may
It's
be.
abomination.
Yes, it's as much an abomination as sunshine. It's still better than Link's crossbow training.
I don't think so. I mean, I've not played the crossbow training, but you can't really get much worse.
It's literally a first-person shooter for Legend of Zelda where you're shooting targets with a crossbow.
Okay, it sounds like a Legend of Zelda game that doesn't need to be a Legend of Zelda game, but at least it's not like broken.
It
Well, it's
wasn't,
not
but
broken.
admittedly, the
It's just shit.
crossbow training was just to show off the Wii Zapper so you could get used to it. But still,
Yeah. I think its biggest claim to fame is people like to buy it to abuse GameStop promos.
Yeah.
Because it's like 45 cents if you can find it there.
Nice. I will say to you two then for my next one of what game does Power Rangers lend itself to?
Probably start as a hack and slash and then end as a fighting game.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Pew?
She said dating sim.
No. I was thinking of Luigi's Mansion, the new one.
Okay.
That was.
I will say, yeah, Rick was right. It lends itself to like a slasher, beat 'em up fighter. You know what Power Rangers doesn't lend itself to? Power Rangers Zeo Battle Riders, a Mario Kart ripoff, in which you're on all the Zeo cycles.
Yeah.
And the second I said that, you're like, yeah, that is bad use of license. You have Power Rangers Zeo and you make up Mario. Why? Why would you do that?
Shifting the turbo.
Yeah. That'd be like getting the Walking Dead license, which is like a survival horror or whatever, and turning it into a Mario Party. Where like a zombie is a Bowser trying to steal your stars. It wouldn't work.
Well, Mario Party to me could be of The Walking Dead because it's dead already on the inside.
I like Mario Party.
I like Mario Party.
It's fun for multiplayer. But what would Rick go with next for license for like film, TV, comic?
Okay. I think
Did you
we all
say
know.
Moonwalker?
No, I actually liked that. Well,
I did. I love that game.
I like the arcade one better, but the Genesis one was pretty good, even though, like, okay, I played that one and I remember it being like hard, and then years later I was like, well, maybe it was because I was younger and bad at games. And then I played it, I'm like, no, it's just not made that well. It's still fun though. But
maybe you could be old and bad at games.
There you go.
I mean, that is what Marcus, Shadow, and James think.
Yeah. I'm number 3, but for me, I think it would be the Transformers the movie game for number 3, like the third movie. Like, yeah, the third movie wasn't great, but the game was like exceptionally bad. Like the first movie game wasn't great, but I enjoyed it. Second one had some positives over the first, but also some negatives. But it was still like, I enjoyed it enough. 3 was pretty shit.
I did play 3, but I did love the multiplayer in 2.
Yeah, multiplayer.
Where you could like fly in a plane invisible.
But yeah, 3 had multiplayer. It was pretty bad, but also, like, you could literally, you could beat the game in probably 3 or 4 hours. Like, it was pretty short, and probably the only thing I actually really liked about it was you could play a Soundwave from the movie. Nice. But it wasn't like, and his section was okay, but like the end of it was terrible because it was one of those like, oh, you have to drive and escape the lava that's filling up in the human base or whatever, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But that game was terrible. I did not buy it. It was like the first game I rented from Redbox, and The
Nice.
game is not good. If you ever find that game, don't play it. Play War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron instead.
Or Rise of the Darkspark.
Or Rise of the Darkspark. Yeah, don't play.
Or PS2's Armada.
Yes, that's a good one.
I love that.
As silly as it just felt weird that they had Ragdoll, but other than that, the game's awesome.
I was blown away by that game the first time I played Armada. When I was like driving for the woods, I was boom, transformed. I'm like, holy fuck! And I'm sorry, that actually had great fucking graphics for a PS2 game when it came out. It looked like whoa.
And I think that's my favorite representation of Megatron in any video game, because he would like pick you up, jump up in the air, and power bomb you on the ground, which was awesome.
My favorite rendition of Megatron video game is Transformers the Movie 1, when you use the G1 Megatron code, so he flies to stick his arm over, that's his transformation.
That was awesome.
It was stupid. But the power bomb was fucking awesome. But yeah. How about your next licensed Pew Pew? Or licensed game Pew Pew? Licensed Pew Pew.
Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's the new one. Oh, that one was such bullshit. Like, it was just, I don't know, other people like it and that's fine, but it just held your hand throughout the whole thing because he's spamming you with freaking text messages. It was just text messages. It's like video messages every 5 seconds. Like, Bing, go in the door. By the way, the door is here. Bing, by the way, here's the key to the door. By the way, the door is like right here. Why aren't you in the door yet? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm exploring the mission. Like, let me just do the fuck what I want to do. Fuck off.
Hey,
guys.
Luigi, it's me, your brother Mario. Do you want to go bowling?
Mario, it's your brother. Mario, let's go bowling.
It's not even like... It's not even his goddamn mansion. It's freaking Egad's mansion. So the title's bullshit. And, like, he's freaking statues of himself, paintings of himself. It's clearly he's owned this mansion for a while and, like, put all his shit in it and apparently a million statues to himself and whatever.
I would say, when you say it's bullshit, the title, wouldn't that be the same as Legend of Zelda? In which, according to most of them, the legend is about the hero of time, Link.
Well, see,
So it should
the
be the
first
Legend of
one
Link.
got it right, because, well, so it's kind of always been that way since game 1, but this first game, it was called Luigi's Mansion because he won a mansion, it was his mansion, but the second game they changed it. So, like, if it was, like, if it had never been his mansion, and that was always the case, that'd be fine, but no, now it's still Luigi's Mansion, even though it's not his fucking mansion anymore. He's just with the freaking janitor that goes around doing shit for money, I guess.
I'm okay with that, just because I know it's a sequel. It's like Resident Evil was called Resident Evil because they were in a house. Mainly it was called Biohazard away in Japan, but when it came to the second one, they were no longer in a house, and it was still called Resident Evil, and I was okay with that. Because I'm like, it's a sequel.
It was just too much hand-holding and too much bullshit, and all the ghosts are generic as hell instead of, like, because the first game told the story. There was a father there was a dad there were sisters, there was a baby's room, there was, like, a family that lived there. Now it's just, like, generic ghost, different color, blah, 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 blah. We're too fucking lazy to make models. It's like, oh, fuck you.
Yep. So my next licensed one would be, just because I know we said we weren't going to talk about bad games, but, well, we have, so 2011 Thundercats on the 3DS or DS. 2011 Thundercats. It was a great fucking series. It had real story behind it, real emotion. They matured some of the characters. They made some characters better than the original. It stands as a series. Even though we didn't get Series 2, I prefer it to the original, even though I grew up with the original, if that makes sense. Like, I prefer Beast Wars to G1 because it had more story, which I'm okay with. Fans like either, but that's cool. It was all about story. It was all about who the Thundercats were. The game we got was a side-scrolling beat-em-up with no real hit detection. So sometimes you get hit. Sometimes, like, your sword would be all the way fucking through them before it would read where you've hit them. Other times you'd be like across the screen and it'd read it. There was no block button there, so you couldn't block and you're stuck in place.
Nice.
And what they do is they send enemies at you with swords, and behind them with enemies with bows and arrows, and you can't block. That's like Dark Souls level of cheap.
Can the enemies block? I always hate that in
Yes.
games when it's like, oh, you don't get a block. Oh, the enemies can. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
no,
so-
no, 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 no. That's not how this works.
Yeah, some of the enemies could block. It's like, oh, I'm lying. I'm fucking lying out. The Lord of the motherfucking goddamn Thundercats. I can block. I have a fucking claw that's armored shield. Block. It's a block. Even just pull out Snarf and use him as a human shield or a cat shield, as it would
That
be.
would have been the best.
Although I wouldn't do that for 2011 Snarf. He's too cute. Pull out original Snarf, that bastard. Yeah.
Snarf. Every time he's hit, he's like, Snarf, Snarf.
Ah, hit me right in the Snarf. But yeah, that was just an example of just bad licensed game. Why? Why no block button? And then make it so you can't get the enemies with bows and arrows fast enough to stop them firing arrows, so they have to kill you. And hit attack. Oh, no, bad. Rick.
All right. My next one is well, it's not one. I don't know why I said that, but
Did you just say WWE Crush Hour?
no, because I didn't. I don't know if I played that. I think I saw it and I was like, I know, we're done here. But,
Yeah, I didn't pre-order it or buy it on the day.
But the old Simpsons games, like before the arcade one and the one on PS3 and Wii and 360, like the I think there were two on the Nintendo. There was the Space Mutants and Bart's Nightmare or whatever, and then the Game Boy one. Like I did not like those.
Why? I was like, Bart's Nightmare shit. The other one,
Yeah.
yeah, shit. I loved Buffy the Space Mutants, where you got to spray paint stuff, and the one where you got a coin and you got to prank home out. But I could understand why you wouldn't like it.
Yeah, well, it had some good stuff, but I think that the one that came out years later on the PS3, 360, and I think Wii, or maybe
Oh, the one
PS2
with
also.
the-
Yeah, that one. I think that one was better. Like it wasn't the greatest game, but it was entertaining, and I like what they did.
That
with it.
was.
It felt Simpsons.
Although if you buy that, do not buy it on PS2 or Wii. For people listening, only because one of the main features of that game, the new one, is being able to transform into various modes and stuff. Yeah, most of that's disappeared from the Wii and PS2 version, and makes it, you know what I mean? It just works.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, we just cut out this core feature. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'd be like playing Grand Theft Auto and they've removed steal car functionality.
Did you ever play the Game Boy Simpsons one? I think it was Camp Krusty or something. I just remember you were at the camp. I don't remember the title of it, though.
I think, was that Krusty's Funhouse?
Maybe.
Or was it, because I definitely had Krusty's Funhouse.
I just remember one on the Game Boy that you had to do different stuff, and I think you were at the camp. Like, there was one part where it was like American Gladiators with the jousting, and you had to like hit them with the thing.
That may actually be the camp. When I was thinking of Krusty's Funhouse, I think you were playing as Krusty, or you were playing as Bart. One of the two go for like Clown House.
No, it wasn't that one. It was another one. It was something with the. I don't know if it was called Camp Krusty, but I know it was like it was like that. You know, you were out in the woods and.
The Simpsons sadly has had a few bad games.
Yeah, and even though I like
wrestling.
Yeah. Wasn't Hit and Run supposed to be decent though? I never played that one.
Hit and Run was kind of fun.
Okay.
Was that the GTA one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the GTA one was kind of fun. The Crazy Taxi one, not so much. Road Rage, that was, I think.
Okay.
Simpsons Road Rage, or whatever it's called. But yeah, the Simpsons has had a load of bad games.
Yeah.
Why? It's a great property. Why give us bad games? To be fair, I think it's mainly because it's one of those doesn't lend itself to a game.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be hard to make a game of it.
Which means you probably shouldn't make one. Or make it point-and-click adventure. So it's like an interactive episode. That'd work.
Well, I think shows like that don't lend themselves to unless you just make it all about that. Like the South Park, the Stick of Truth. That game's awesome.
Oh,
But
that game
like,
is.
yeah, but it's not like I don't like it's they took all the stuff from South. They made a game and then just put all like the South Park stuff in it. It wasn't like they were trying to emulate a specific episode or anything. It was like they just made a game of South Park stuff instead of trying to make a game that's a South Park episode. If that makes sense.
It does, and that totally worked. Stick of Truth
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, the Futurama game wasn't bad.
Oh yeah, I heard that one was decent. It's just like I don't know if it's changed, but I remember it was like pretty rare back when it was available. Like it was one of those ones that GameStop they would sell it used for like 35 or whatever, and you're like, wait, it came out at 40 like 4 years ago.
Yeah, here it wasn't rare when it first came out, and yeah, a couple of years later, yeah, it was dramatic prices up, and it's like, why? But how about you, Pew? Pew?
Do you have any more, Stacey?
Another one that I didn't like was maybe will agree with me. I did enjoy it. I just didn't feel it felt like it belonged. Arkham City, like it was enjoyable. Like there's parts of it enjoyed. It just didn't feel like it was supposed to, I guess. Because you're just going around the city, like, and punching the shit out of people, and like, you don't have to be stealthy at all. You just can be, hey you, shut the fuck up. Hey you, shut the fuck up. Here you go. I'm gonna surround you with 5 bad guys. You're safe. Wait, no, I know she's not safe. You're just 10 people surrounding her. Like, no, you're safe. I take care of them. Fuck off. It's like you're in this freaking isolated area, surrounded by like lava or whatever, some kind of toxin. You can't touch the ground for. You're safe. No. It's like that just pissed me off. Like you have to like rescue this one woman, but then you leave her like in a little island of like untouchable poorness, and then like you're safe. Like piss me the fuck off. What are you doing?
I will say Armored City. It's not Armored City. Arkham City. I like the Armored Edition more, but Arkham City. It's one of those games where I'm not going to say it's a bad licensed game. I just didn't like it as much as its sequel, if that makes sense. Because as much as I prefer stealthy Batman, look at the Nolan films. When was the last time you saw him detect anything besides punching in the face?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I thought we were gonna play detective like Batman or CSI. Instead, we were just punching him in the face like Batman.
Yeah, that's basically because Batman does lend himself to a beat 'em up. I hate to say that he does, but yeah, I didn't like that as much as its predecessor. I preferred Arkham Asylum for the stealth and the I'm Batman, I'm coming out of the shadows, I'm Batman. Which you have to do at least once or twice while playing that game. I'm sorry, I define anyone to play that game, to play any Batman game and not go, I'm Batman, if you're playing it. Or I'm Lego Batman.
Yes.
I've done that in the Lego one, though. To the point where I do that every Batman game I play, to the point where Crispy's been like before now, fuck off with that.
Please tell me that like in the Lego one you're like, it's what I build that defines me.
No, I wasn't much for those. But no, it was my next one. I don't know who would agree with me. Well, oh, hang on. I'm back, but yeah, I don't know who would agree with me out there. Probably most people, but I'm gonna go with the game I joked with Richter. WWE Crush Hour. Let's just see, because I know Stacey is a casual wrestling fan. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean she hardly watches. But Stacey, what game? And be serious. Don't pew it. What game does wrestling lend itself to?
Beat 'em up.
Okay, beat 'em up. So betrayal or fighting game like WWE games. Yeah, that works. What do you know what
Fighting
WWE doesn't
game.
lend itself to? Car combat.
What?
Car
Oh, okay.
combat. And that's what WWE crushed out. What you were playing as wrestlers in cars, themed about themselves, doing twisted metal style gameplay. It was so stupid. Part of it was kind of to play a part. It was like, what the why? But yeah, and I did sadly pre-order and buy it on the day it came out. Yeah, WWE.
We've all done that with something.
Yep, it's like as much as I hate them, Budokai Tenkaichi. Every single time they come out, I went and bought them. Just because it has Dragon Ball Z on it, I wanted to support the Dragon Ball Z game to make sure the UK still got more.
Nice.
Which, yay, like they announced in around Japan, Rick.
Uh-huh.
We're getting Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods in this country on DVD and Blu-ray December 10th, baby.
Nice.
Just a few days after my birthday. Happy birthday to me. But over to Rick for the weather.
It's a bit rainy here.
You're talking about heavy rain. Nice. I see what you did there.
Sony licensed that game from Sony. Now, okay.
From the weather companies.
Yeah. Okay, this is the last one I could think of offhand, but and I don't think it's a bad game, but the Lord of the Rings Online, the MMO, it just, I don't know, it didn't like grab me. You know, it wasn't that fun, and I was kind of disappointed in that. I spent way too much money on, but it just wasn't as fun. You know, it didn't like grip me. It wasn't like, oh, gotta one more level, gotta play one more level, gotta play one. You know, it didn't have that MMO hook that you get that makes you play games for like 20 hours on end.
To be fair though, I know Marcus Shadow liked that game and he's
Yeah,
better
yes.
at games. Oh god, if you ever listened to this or we mention that, just everyone laughs. Or we could always do the other one of Marcus Shadow is better at you at games.
But no, he's not gonna listen to that. But yeah, I don't know. Like it was built fine. It just was kind of disappointing. You know, I don't know if anyone's played War in the North. I like that one far better. Like that was more fun and more interesting.
I kind of like that. I kind of like War in the North. Could see that.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings game I didn't like was Conquest.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you played it. The one that was basically Battlefront with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, there's like it was like third person and you fought other people, and there's like I don't know if this is only one of the game modes. I only played the demo, but you would like capture points or whatever like that.
Yeah.
There was a mode in the online versus for War of Cybertron that was like that, where you had to like control a certain point and you'd get points.
Yeah,
for
which
it.
is
Yeah.
it was made using, I think it was made using the Battlefront engine too, because that's one of the modes in Battlefront. So. That's one of the main modes in Battlefront, at least one of the ones I kept playing the most.
Right.
However, the reason Battlefront worked is because, and I'm not saying Star Wars is better than Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, the book, is fucking fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But speed bikes, AT-ATs, and shit like that. You know what's not a good vehicle? A horse. Or using the fucking like tree people and all that crap as vehicles. It's like, no, fuck off. And they made it too Battlefront. And like Lord of the Rings doesn't lend itself to Battlefront. It doesn't. In my opinion, it does not.
Yeah.
Real-time strategy, maybe.
Yeah.
But how about you, Pew?
No more.
You don't have any more?
Nope.
Okay, well, I'm going to end it with, and I know people are probably going to hate me for this one, don't care, DCUO.
Mm.
No, I agree with that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is Superman mentoring you and then sending you after people who are supposed to be stronger than him? like Doomsday and stuff on the like what you call it, instances and stuff. What the fuck? Why are all the missions done exactly the same no matter who your mentor is? Because I'm sorry, Wonder Woman, very different character to Batman. Lex Luthor, very different character to Joker.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. Then they added too much Batman stuff and they went free to play and ruined it more. And the fact it's an MMO, which means you can't escape this, but it takes me out of the game of the fact you play DCUO. And then when you go there and you go to play it, there's like Spider-Man and Hulk and Power Rangers and stuff just running around. I'm like, okay. Whatever, unimaginative people. But the thing, one of the things that just, I don't know, it just left that bad taste in my mouth. Can't believe I did that. Bad taste, but still.
So bad.
Yeah, it left that bad taste in my mouth. Was I didn't like the fact, and I don't know if they fixed it recently. To be fair, it's too little, too late if they have. Why the fuck wasn't there RP servers?
Yeah.
Because I know not everyone here may like them, which is fair enough. It's like I don't like PvP, however I do agree with servers for PvP. Role-playing servers on RPGs or MMO RPGs and stuff are so brilliant because you can go there and say like you're playing as your character. You can role-play as your character, which yes, I totally did when I made a character like Dark Justice, who was sort of a Batman type character. And yeah, I was totally like going on voice on the regular PvE one and be like, Dark Justice is here. And I started to do like power fucking entire monologues while standing on the rooftop watching my city. I'm like, I'm watching my city. I've seen my city implode. There are other heroes here trying their best, but their best it's not good enough. I'm the Dark Justice. I'm the one to save my city. And it was just great.
Well, I remember,
and,
like, oh yeah.
Okay. And then also when I did that on the PvE servers, there was a few people, because I did it by shouting it to the entire world because I monologued and stuff via the typing. There was some people being like, that guy's RPing his character. Okay, that's fucking genius. And a few people joined in. And I was like, that's wonderful. I created something. I started a
Nice. I remember on World of Warcraft, they had RP servers, but there was no space to put backstory, at least back then. And I was like, well, what? So, like, yeah, if you run around and you're doing stuff, you know, people be like, oh, he's RPing. But if they could check your backstory, they might understand why you're doing certain things. You know, like you could be playing a character that, I don't know, like stutters or something, so you like bother typing that in, but people just be like, what is this guy, an idiot? And you can't like check that, where EverQuest 2, yeah, I just dated myself, they actually had a place where you could type in like your character's backstory, and I was like, oh, that's neat. And then when I played World of Warcraft, I'm like, wait, there's RP specific servers, but you can't like type that in so people can understand like why you're doing what you're doing, other than just like, I guess he's RPing. You know.
I want to say, I don't know if anyone else did, EverQuest 2, I think it was. Pardon me. I played that on PS2.
Oh, okay.
That was the only reason I bought that big-ass fucking modem that you had to hook into the back of your console to make it run online. Which, yes, kids, if you're listening, consoles didn't used to come online. That's horrible.
Yep.
It's like, I'll admit, when I had a GameCube, Rick, I bought the GameCube online adapter. Biggest mistake in my fucking life. I don't think anything fucking supported it. Besides, I think Fantasy started, and I didn't want to play that. So yeah, I wasted my money.
I bought one of those at Nintendo for like 50 cents, and I considered that worth it. I never used it, but I was like, it's 50 cents, and I can just plug it in the bottom. And I still have the Game Boy adapter on there, so I'm like, this is a complete GameCube. It has all the stuff plugged in.
Nice. Although I will say, I did get a lot of use out of the PS2 one, and I did with the Xbox One, the first Xbox.
Xbox Classic.
Yeah, Classic. Yeah, the original Xbox. I got a lot of use out of that and PS2 online because of games like Battlefront. But my God, it's online and different now.
Yeah.
it was still good though, because the amount of times I'd be on like Yahoo Voice talking to a load of friends. Yeah, Yahoo Voice. I went there, kids.
Yeah,
I was on. I was on Yahoo Voice talking to my friends and shit, while like we were using like our dial-ups and shit to play fucking Battlefront 2 via Xbox and stuff, which was so fucking great. Which yeah, it used to be amazing to hear like your friends on voice, which back then that was a big deal. Hearing your friend on voice be like, "Whoa, what the fuck did you just do?" And I was like, "Look at my kill." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you totally that's wrong on so many levels." Because I used to get the ship, and I'll admit I kind of sucked at landing the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'd do is I'd get my ship, drive round towards where their base with all their ships are, and deliberately crash straight through into their base to blow up their ships and stuff.
Nice.
And I'd take out people with like a suicide dive. That's right, kids. Before your little 9/11, we had Battlefront. That made it the worst reference ever. Before 9/11, we had Battlefront. Oh god, but I will say that's it for XGR this week. Thank you for joining me, Rick the Hammer and Anastasia Laserbeam.
Hey.
Check us out next week for another episode of XGR, your X-Pound Gaming Radio. For all your video game news, thoughts, opinions, discussions, and stuff like that. If you'd like to see more news or more information, or you just want to talk to us about what we've done here today, leave a message below. We'll get in touch. You're supposed to hang up, Rick.
Yeah, clicking it.